Welcome to this edition of Tyrone Paulson Drives. You know that phrase that exists that says, don't judge a book by its cover? It's been used ad nauseum to describe various different things. You know, to say like, something looks good, but in actual fact it actually is bad, or it looks bad, but in actual fact it's really good. And today we're going to put that to a test because I'm inside of a car that is going to be, in my opinion, shaking up the South African SUV market. Meet the all-new 2025 Mahindra XUV 3XO, a budget subcompact SUV that's taking aim at rivals outside of its weight class. Mahindra, over the last few years, has been making serious moves in the SUV market, with, for example, the introduction of the refreshed Scorpio N and the XUV 700. This is the XUV 3XO, and it has a bold new look over the car that it replaces, which was the XUV 300. And no, it's not just a facelift, but a complete new spin on the car with new tech, engines, and even a drivetrain setup. It now sports standard across the range a 1.2-liter turbo petrol engine producing 82 kilowatts and 200 newton meters of torque, mated to either a 6-speed auto or manual gearbox. Now, I know it's not epic figures, but compared to a lot of its direct rivals, it offers much better performance figures. There are 5 trim levels available. The MX2 manual, which starts at 222,000 Rand. The auto is 240,000 Rand. The next model up is the MX3 manual transmission and the auto version, with the latter retailing at 257,000 Rand. Then there's the AX5 manual transmission and the auto, costing both just under 300,000 Rand. The AX5L, or luxury, retails at 327,000 Rand, and the AX7L, which we have on test, costs 353,000 Rand. Note, all these prices are ex-VAT, so the car we're driving should set you back about 402,000 Rand. The AX5L and the AX7L are only available in auto. Standard in all the ranges are the striking LED DRLs, 6 airbags, reverse parking sensors, electric windows, aircon, with extras like a sunroof, more cameras and sensors, and even cruise control. And then you get a little bit more when you move to the MX3, as well as all the other models upwards till you get to the AX7, getting a full panoramic sunroof, 360-degree cameras, parking sensors, as well as level 2 adaptive cruise control. Furthermore, in South Africa, the Mahindra XUV 3XO comes with a 5-year, 150,000-kilometer warranty, with lower trim MX models offering a 3-year, 55,000-kilometer service plan, and the higher trim AX models giving you a 5-year, 100,000-kilometer service plan. So when I say it's shaking up the market, it definitely is, because a lot of its competitors like the Renault Kwid, Nissan Magnite, Suzuki Fronx, and Toyota Urban Cross, they don't provide all those features, even as, well, optional extras. And yes, it's slightly a bit more expensive than those cars, but it's still a heck of a lot of kit for a budget subcompact mini SUV. Now let's talk design, because the first thing that you do notice on this car is this redesigned, well, minimalistic kind of look front grille. It's combined with these striking LED headlights. It's aggressive, it's modern, but also definitely not shy. You know, it stands out. Down the side, you get the 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. It gives you that extra bit of premium look onto it. The other models get 16-inch wheels, by the way. Along the side, Mahindra's kept that whole stylish vibe kind of going, with a sleek LED light bar stretching across the tailgate. It looks sweet. Overall, this little car's got a heck of a lot of presence. It's got style, and it looks, like I like to say, it looks very, very nunus, just like the Jimny does. It's cute, but it's got its own kind of style, almost like those Japanese A cars. But it's not as small, but still yet big enough for the, well, South African market. When you step inside of the AX7L, you immediately notice the premium touches to set this version apart from some of its siblings and even a lot of its rivals, like this leatherette soft touch materials on the dash, on the side here, on the armrest. It really feels good. And even this massive panoramic sunroof, it looks good, man. Oh, and then there are these two 10.25-inch displays. One is for the driver and the other one is for the infotainment display. Both screens are really crisp and clear, but it does have some issues. What I do like though is that it has both wireless charging as well as a 65-watt USB-C charging point, as well as a USB-C charging point, or A, in front as well. This 65-watt is so powerful that you can charge a laptop. Why you would charge it in the front, I don't know, but you can. So it's there. You get access to wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it worked really, really well with the menus being very simple and easy to understand. But Apple CarPlay was a little bit finicky for me. It kept disconnecting and some apps would just be, unresponsive. The driver display, although it's customizable, is a little bit too dark for my eyesight during the daytime. Maybe just because I'm old, but I can't see a lot of the things because it's set quite far back. But at night it looks completely different. It looks really, really great. So maybe a slight little update tweak might happen. I know this is not a tech review, but these things are kind of important nowadays.
There are loads of buttons on the steering wheel, which include things like menu, volume, and cruise control functions. There are even more buttons for the climate control system, radio, and drive selector modes. You also get more buttons in the door for the 4 windows, mirrors, and on the side you get, guess what? More buttons to turn on or off the stop-start or the PDC. So when it comes to buttons, the XUV 3XO has got you covered.
Now, the seats are very comfortable, even though they are manually adjusted, and for a budget car, this feels really, really good and comfortable to sit into. This leatherette trim that it has is good to the touch. It's also easy to wipe off clean. Yes, I've messed some stuff, sorry Mahindra, on the seats, but I was able to just get a cloth and wipe it off, and that is really, really cool. The only thing is though, is you could get third-degree burns if you sit on here with a pair of shorts or some exposed skin, sit on it when the car's been standing in the sun all day. Yes, I'm exaggerating. You won't get third-degree burns. It's just a little bit on the hot side, especially for my sensitive 50-year-old skin. It's surprisingly not cramped here in the back. Seating for 3 adults, yes, it's going to be a little bit tight, but right now for me, like I'm sitting, it is very, very comfortable. Headroom is also very good, and because I can slip my feet underneath the seat, taller people, if you sit here and you just slide down, it becomes even a lot better. So yeah, that's good. For convenience sake, you've got things like these pockets here at the back to store stuff in. You've got both a USB-C and a 12-volt charging power point. You've got a place to store your phone. You've got air vents, you've got electric windows, there's a center armrest with cup holders, there's airbags in here at the back. This panoramic sunroof looks very good, gives you enough light. You can see clearly out the windows. I mean, it's overall a very comfortable place to sit for both short and long journeys, and it also has things like tethering points for car seats. So yeah, I think everybody will be comfortable. If you are going to complain though, like I always say, feel lucky that you actually are not having to walk or use public transport. But either way, sitting in here, it's actually a very comfortable space to be. Actually, sitting here now and looking at this car, I can't believe how, it's just such a lot of space. There's some sort of Harry Potter magic that they've created in here to give it all the space.
Where the XUV 3XO shows its compactness is in its boot. It only offers 364 liters. It's not wide but deep, so you should be able to stack stuff on top of each other. If you need to pack a pram, this might be tight, and the skills you've learned from playing Tetris will come in handy.
Getting behind the wheel of the Mahindra XUV 3XO AX7L is actually quite surprise you a little bit in a very, very good way. Because you see, it feels a lot bigger than
than what it is. On the outside, it is tiny. I mean, you can see it, but behind the wheels, it feels like you're driving a much larger, much more expensive car. And that is all evident because of the great work that Mahindra has done in this car, not just on its looks and its comfortability and tech, but also on its drivetrain. Like this 1.2 liter 3-cylinder turbo petrol engine is actually really, really good. It's not, you know, going to give you hectic performance, but it gives you enough grunt to nip in and out of traffic and get to highway speeds, and even maintaining it. Dare I even say it's surprisingly refined. The steering is light, but it's precise, and the suspension is very, very solid. It does a really, really good job on soaking up the bumps and everything else. Its 6-speed auto gearbox it does a decent job, but it has a little bit of quirks with it. It feels a bit jerky at times. It's almost like when you're driving a manual car and your clutch is set very high. You know, when you try and take your foot off, but it's still there, and then when you take it like jumps off. Well, it feels like that at times when you change gears. But I only felt it in one of its 3 driving modes, which is called Zap, which is its comfort mode, by the way. It just feels, like that. But it doesn't do it in its Zip, which is its eco mode, and its Zoom, which is its sport mode. I love the name, Zip, Zap, Zoom. But it doesn't do it in any of those things. And then, like now, it's been like, 5 days of me driving this car, and I don't notice it anymore. It's actually very cool. One annoying thing it does have, though, is its PDC. Like, for example, if you get to a stop street, right, it beeps. It beeps with the car in front of you, even if you're standing still. And it gets annoying. And guess what? Nah, it doesn't want to do it. Anyways, but the fact is, it does that. And it's annoying, but you can turn it off. But it is geeky because it gives you the calculation of how far you are away from the car in front of you. Okay, you know, I've had to stop, and now it's doing it. It's beeping for no reason. Like, can you hear? I mean, like, I'm stopped behind someone. I don't get it. I know. I'm 66 centimeters away from the car in front of me. And then, unlike other cars that's got blind spot, indicators in its mirrors, this has got an actual blind spot camera. So when you put your indicator on to turn, it shows you your blind spot, which again is geeky, but very, very cool. Fuel consumption, I've been averaging between 6.5 and 7 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's actually quite good, I think, in this car. The only thing is, it calculates its range figures in kilometers per liters and not liters per kilometers, liters per 100 kilometers, if you know what I mean. So if you're somebody that works all that stuff out, it's going to mess with your brain a little. But there's apps you can download, because that's what I did. But all in all, it works well together. It does what you expect from a budget car, but then it goes just a little step further. I honestly like this car, even with the little quirks that it has. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, because all in all, for what you're going to pay, it works really, really well, and it drives really, really well. And I do think you should just go drive it, experience it for yourself, and you'll be, like I said, pleasantly surprised. When I started this video, I had that saying, it says, don't judge a book by its cover. And it's evident when it comes to this, the 2025 Mahindra XUV 3XO. Because of its size, we see, oh, it's a budget car, and then we go, it must be bad. And then there's the fact it's a Mahindra, and then we again say, oh, it must be made cheaply. And you'd be wrong on all the fronts, because as a budget car alone, it's feature-packed, it's comfortable, it's stylish. It's a compact SUV with a solid warranty and an attractive price tag. And it's definitely challenging a lot of its rivals and, even others outside of its class. The question is, though, also, is it worth your money? Well, that's really up to you, but it should be on your short list. The one thing it does prove, though, is that Mahindra is, they mean business in South Africa. And that's it for today's review.
here on Tyrone Paulson Drives. Drop a comment below by telling me what you think about the Mahindra XUV 3XO, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon for more real-world car reviews. I've always wanted to say that, so now that I've said it, do you mind just hitting the bell icon? And yeah, I'll let you know when there's another video. Well, until next time, as always, drive safe and catch you on the next one.